And as we've been talking about, today is day 2 of the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, an event that looks drastically different than what was planned just months ago.
With President Biden stepping aside, he made way for Vice President Kamala Harris and the inclusion of Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate, a decision that put Minnesota in the national spotlight and prompted local coverage of this political event. Valley News Team's Quinn Gorham reports from United Center.
The Democratic National Convention is underway here in Chicago. Michael Jordan, basketball legend, is here behind me. We're, of course, at the United Center here in Chicago. Not the only figure of note we're going to be seeing on Tuesday. We're expecting to hear from former President Barack Obama later tonight. Last night, though, we heard from Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota, Peggy Flanagan, as she lauded some of Walz's accomplishments over his time as the governor of Minnesota. We expect to hear more from her later tonight as we anticipate having an interview with her here on the floor of the United Center. But let's take a look at some of the stuff that happened last night during the first night of the Democratic National Convention. The focus of day one was, quote, for the people, a theme Democrats say is about putting the American people first. Minnesota Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan was among the speakers on Monday night, undoubtedly giving the crowd insight into who the governor was, a man she's served alongside since 2019. Earlier that day, Walz surprised the crowd gathered at the Wisconsin delegation breakfast. Wisconsin, of course, an important swing state in the November general election. The Harris ticket obviously hoping Walz appeals to Minnesota's neighbors.
You know Minnesotans well in this room. It's been an interesting 11 days for me or so. What we're going to show America over the next 3 days is what democracy looks like. It's inclusive. It's joyous.
Harris herself made a surprise appearance on the floor on Monday night. Of course, the big event for Minnesotans and the reason we're here this week is that Minnesota's Governor Tim Walz, a vice presidential nominee now, is expected to speak on Wednesday night. We'll have more information on what that speech is going to look like as the week progresses. For now, reporting in Chicago, I'm Quinn Gorham.
We're told DNC organizers expect between the DNC and protesters, the event is bringing in about 50,000 people to Chicago.
The Trump campaign continues this week as well, with J.D. Vance planning to visit Kenosha today.